Interviewers love to ask, why are you interested in our company? It's a standard question, but the way you answer can actually make the difference between being an average candidate and an exceptional one. My name's Holl, and today I'm going to share why interviewers ask this question, the 3 key elements of a compelling answer, and I'll provide some examples along the way. Be sure to stick around for the not-so-obvious mistakes that you should definitely avoid when answering this question. You don't want to miss out on these. Now, let's put ourselves in the interviewer's seat and ask why hiring managers pose this familiar question. By the time that your resume and background have been reviewed by a recruiter or manager, your basic qualifications are already established. The interview then isn't so much to get a sense of your competence, but more to get an understanding of who you are as a professional. What motivates you and why you're interested in a job is key to understanding how you'd contribute to any team or company. By asking what attracted you to the job, a recruiter or interviewer is really trying to know 3 key things. First, they want to know how much you really understand about the company. Second, they want to see how much you understand about the role itself, not just the larger organization. Finally, the most compelling reason for a recruiter to ask this question is to get a sense of whether this job fits into your long-term personal and professional goals. Will you really be a dedicated employee? Is this job taking you someplace you actually want to go? Think of it as if you were writing a book. The resume is a summary of your past chapters, and the opportunity in answering this question is to make the case that the job you're discussing is the best next chapter in your story. If you'd like to learn more about another popular interview question, check out this video right here. Part 1. Share what attracts you to the organization. The most clear and direct way of answering why are you interested in this company is to share what initially attracted you to the organization, supported by what you know and have learned in order to prepare for the interview. At the heart of preparation for giving a first-rate response here is research, research, research. Your first stop is the company's website. You'll want to review the About page, including its mission, company history, and any key information about its leaders. Reading press reports, blogs, or any recent newsletters linked to the company's homepage will help you understand what they are proud to announce about themselves. Take notes and return to these notes right before the discussion. In discussing the company, make sure to refer to the mission in their own words or name the CEO who you've read about on the organization's website. Bonus tip, if your interview is via video conference, put the numbers and names you'd like to reference on little sticky notes and put those around your screen. It'll be easy for you to shift your eyes slightly when you need to reference them and not very noticeable to the interviewer. This will help you radiate confidence. Next, use the news filter on web search in order to curate any relevant information that's been recently published about the company. If you have the opportunity in the interview to refer to one of these articles, this will show that you've done very thorough research. By putting effort into preparing for the interview, this will mirror the effort that you're showing you're willing to put into the job. Another bonus tip here, even if the reports aren't especially flattering that you find online, these are still really worth your while to examine because first of all, you want to know that information heading into the job, but second of all, it can help you understand which subjects might be a little bit touchy and worth avoiding. Just as many companies check out your social media through the hiring process, it's worth your time to check out the social pages of any company that you're interviewing with. Now, most of the time, these pages are curated by a company's marketing department, so some of this information may kind of be on repeat or what you already know, but every now and then you get a post that shows a glimpse into what it might be like to really work there as an employee, which can give you a sense of company culture as a point of reference. If you do find those more behind-the-scenes social posts, refer to that in the interview. For example, you could say something as simple as, I was really drawn to this company when I first came across an interview with the CEO about her experience founding it. Her reflections on work ethic and creating a healthy work-life balance really resonated with my personal and professional values. This leads us right into our second sub-question of why did you choose our company? Before I move on, if you've watched this far, please give us a like down below and make sure you hit the subscription button while you're down there and turn on notifications so you don't miss anything from us. Part 2, what is it about this job that interests you? The second way to answer this question is to make sure that you address what's appealing about the job specifically and not just the company at large. This is your chance to make the case that you have an incredible understanding of the role and you have the confidence to succeed in it. First, really study and highlight the specific phrases and duties described in the job description, and refer to these throughout your answer. For example, if the job description refers to budgeting, KPI dashboard management, or project management, use that exact language when referring to your comparable responsibilities in your past work. Obviously, you're really at an advantage if you know someone at the company, or even better, on the specific department or team that you'd be working with. And if that is your case here, then I would recommend referring to the knowledge that you gained as a result of that. So for example, if you have a referrer or someone that you do know, now would be the chance to say, I understand from my friend who referred me to you that this team is a lot about cross-collaboration and strong goal setting, which are two things that I look for and really admire in any work environment that I seek out. If you know the name of the person that you're interviewing with or would be reporting to, a really underutilized tip is to go onto that person's professional profile and review any endorsements or recommendations they may have from their peers. This can be a gold mine, and you're able to refer to it throughout the interview when asked about why you found the company or team compelling. Now, the third key component to address when answering this question is, what is it about you that makes this job a natural fit? At its core, an interview is about making a human connection. Using this conversation to demonstrate your past, your character, your attitudes, that's going to be the most effective way to make that human connection. When an interviewer asks, why did you choose this company, or why are you interested in this company, they're really trying to get a sense of how this opportunity fits into your professional story and dreams. This is where you can make the dry bullets of your resume come alive. When you have a track record of experiences, skills, or education that are related to the jobs that you're looking for, spend 2 to 3 minutes describing how all of that has culminated in you being a natural fit for the job you're interviewing for. Tell your story. Even draw on past experiences or positions that may feel unrelated or irrelevant, but just bridge that gap and explain how actually it's provided you a unique perspective. For example, let's say you're interviewing for a technical position or a project management position, something that's not client-facing. But early in your career, you were really focused on the client side. You were in customer service or client management. Well, don't be afraid to mention that experience. Just instead bridge the gap by explaining that those early experiences taught you that every job is really about communicating well with clients, customers, and colleagues. If you have any personal feelings or experiences about the industry or company, spend a bit of time here describing them. If you can draw on something authentic from your past, you'll be able to really nail this portion. For example, let's say that you're interviewing for a summer job in your hometown while you're in college. Well, if you have childhood memories to draw on here, go for it. For example, you can say, when I was younger, my mom and I used to come in here on cold Sunday mornings and have a cup of coffee. I had my very first cup of coffee here. I felt so grown up, and I would treat every customer that came into this cafe as if it was as memorable of an experience for them as it was for me. Drawing on your past is a great way to build your case, but it's also important to speak about your dreams. If the job you're interviewing for is a natural step toward a meaningful and prosperous career, make that connection for the employer. You could say something like, in 5 years, I see myself leading a team that's devoted to this business, and I'm committing to myself now that I want to do everything I can in order to prepare me for that. Now, this can be tricky, so here's a mistake that you really want to avoid. When you answer the question, why are you interested in the company? Do not fall into the trap of making it all about you and what you as a potential employee could gain from them, the company. Again, sitting in the interviewee's chair, it's really important to emphasize always and at every opportunity what you are offering them. Describe why you care about the work that you'd be doing for them, how you're an asset to the team, and what you'd be specifically bringing to the table. This is a final opportunity for you to sell it. So, to quickly recap, my top tips for answering why are you interested in this company are: 1. Do your research on the company and connect their purpose to yours. 2. Be very familiar with the exact nature of the role and prove that you have what it takes to succeed in it. And 3. Connect your past to the future you doing the job. If you found this helpful, please give us a like down below so we know it's useful to you. And make sure to subscribe to our channel and ring that bell. For more interview tips, check out this playlist. And for tips on how to answer Tell Me About Yourself, check out this video right here. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.